Charles Soule and Stephen Cummings begin Crimson Dawn's reign of power as Kira enacts her daring plan of galactic dominance that will reach from the darkest underworld all the way to the Imperial Palace on Coruscant. Charles Soule continues his epic 3-part event trilogy with Crimson Reign, picking up not long after the War of the Bounty Hunters and setting up what Kira's plan is now that the galaxy knows Crimson Dawn is back. I thoroughly enjoyed all of the callbacks Soule injected into the series from his own past series like the Lando book, and even the Knights of Ren showing up, making everything feel just that much more important in some way to the event. The premise is quite simple as well. Kira is basically following Darth Maul's previous plan to kill Darth Sidious and his apprentice, except she's doing it on a much larger scale and with a bit more tact, seeing as that she's doing it with help instead of Maul's very narrow and focused way of wanting to do it basically all himself. It was great that Soule built that into the story and how he showed that Kira was learning from Maul's mistakes and shortcomings, and how it tied into what we explored in Star Wars issue 18, with so many underestimating Kira because she was a homeless kid from Corellia. They didn't expect her to rise above her station. The book also excels in exploring the underworld side of the Star Wars universe, even more so than it did in the War of the Bounty Hunters, giving us a great look into Black Sun and what they are up to. And speaking of Black Sun, Soule also lays down some groundwork and foreshadowing to fan favorite characters like Prince Shizor, who actually could make an appearance at some point in this story since he's the big boss of Black Sun and they have to appear at some point. Soule also introduces us to the mysterious Archivist, a character who has ties with Yoda, making me think that this being is going to also appear in the High Republic, which Charles Soule is a part of, and maybe they already have and we just haven't actually noticed yet or haven't had that reveal of who that character is exactly. Stephen Cummings is tasked with drawing the event, and his style is suited so well for this sprawling, action-packed crime epic, giving us some great-looking action and tension-filled character-focused drama, which there is a lot of since the book primarily focuses on Kira and her setting up with characters and meeting with them and discussing their crime business and all that sort of stuff. So getting that sort of more intimate, character-focused stuff in the artwork was really great. Star Wars Crimson Reign issue 1 was a fantastic kickoff to Charles Soule's second part of his crime trilogy, setting up Crimson Dawn's new plans for revenge against the criminal underworld and the Empire with some great action and character drama. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Star Wars Crimson Reign issue 1 heads to after the fall of the Empire, where a being shows someone a holocron which they activate using the light side of the Force, as the being inside it says it doesn't matter which side was used to activate it, since the Force is the Force to them. The Chrono Club begins telling the story of Kira, telling the beings of the woman's formative years growing up on Corellia and how she grew up to rule Crimson Dawn, giving the killers and thieves a purpose. The being says that Kira planned and schemed and searched for all those few special people in the galaxy with the skill, power, and the will to take their dream and make it real. Kira assembles the Knights of Ren, Chanath Char and the Orphans, Deathstick, Ochi of Bestoon, Margot and Trinia, as well as the Chronicler, who wishes to be known as the Archivist. Kira addresses her group, knowing a secret which they all know as well, and a very few people actually understand the nature of the galaxy, knowing that it's a prison and it's all because of the Sith. Kira explains who the Sith are and how before her, Crimson Dawn was led by a former Sith called Maul, who was the apprentice of the other Sith in the galaxy, but then he died but was reborn, not ever returning to the Sith ways since he was used like so many others and then discarded. Since that's what the Sith do, they take and then throw away. She shows them a hologram of a mountain range, knowing this is how the galaxy's power structure should be, with many peaks but none dramatically higher than the other. But under the Sith, the galaxy is a single pyramid with everyone climbing up to the same place, but at the top is someone ready to destroy anyone who is climbing, and that person is Emperor Palpatine, once known as Darth Sidious, and along with Darth Vader, they are the most powerful people in the galaxy, and they must die so the galaxy can live. She says she gathered them because most of them know that the one Sith dictates how they all live and die. She knows Palpatine stole Ren's pride and ambition, Chanath's love and hope, Deathstick's identity, Ochi's vision, and the Archivist's legacy. Kira knows that none of them are good and shouldn't trust one another, but they all want the same thing, so they need to work together to achieve it. She tells them how Maul had a plan to take down Sidious before he himself was killed, but she won't make his mistakes and has collected the Sith artifacts Maul had along with some of the few she got herself, along with the knowledge she gleaned from his mutterings. She knows she won't be doing it alone, and if they all aid her, they can get what they want and all will be made free. Later on at the Dark Path, Kira meets with Lord Gaudi of the Black Sun. Knowing the man is gracious to meet her in the hangar himself. Gaudi knows that he brought his guards with him since he isn't a fool, but Kira knows that Crimson Dawn's reputation can't be that bad amongst the syndicates. But the man knows that it's well deserved and it's made them useful. They go and get a drink, beginning their meeting where Kira wishes to reiterate some of the previous points she made about her organization's re-emergence to the Black Sun Lord. She reassures him that Crimson Dawn will not come into Black Sun's territory and will not compete with them since war between them would be wasteful. Gaudi wants to know what the Dawn is going to be doing then and what her offer is, so Kira says that while Crimson Dawn is small, they will offer their services to the syndicates for more precise, important tasks like taking people out, since they have some good contacts for the syndicates to use. The Lord wonders if this will be exclusive to Black Sun, but Kira tells him that it's not, and while they won't offer their services to everyone, it will be a select group and will be completely neutral to all of them, since if they start taking sides, they will make enemies, and they don't want that. As a courtesy, Kira gives the man some information, wondering if he knows about the Hutts attacking the Imperials at Jakara. Gaudi remembers, and the rumor is that Darth Vader killed the Hutt Council as punishment. Kira knows that's not all, since Palpatine is furious with the Hutts, so much so he intends to end their Empire's deal with the Hutts and is currently looking for a new partner. As Kira tells Gaudi this, her advisors tell the Pike Syndicate and Papa Tauren as well, reassuring them that Crimson Dawn will not be this partner and will not interfere. Kira says that they wish to just stay small, but if there ever was a time for the syndicates to gain ground, it would be now, and they need to move. She hopes Gaudi would pass this information along to Prince Shizor, hoping he will remember them when the credits start rolling in. Later above Dantooine on the Soroto, Chanath tells her team to leave no survivors on their new mission, telling them that their target is the Black Sun Smash Processing Lab, knowing that they are tweaking the formula of the drug to make it more powerful and addictive so everyone from scientists to guards need to die. The droid Lady Bright asks what Kira meant when she said that the Sith stole Chanath's love and hope, and the orphans explain that they are called the orphans because it's literal, since Darth Vader killed her parents and she had to swear an oath not to take any revenge in any form against the Dark Lord. Chanath said those words because she wanted to live, but her heart died that day with her parents, and oaths only end when they do, so if her heart died, then the oath died with it, and she has been hunting Vader ever since, but she never saw Vader again after that day, so maybe if she couldn't make it alone, she could do it with Kira's help. Lady Bright asks why not name the team the Orphans, but Chanath tells the droid it's going to stay how it is, focusing everyone up as they arrive at the lab, killing the guards at the door. Once inside, Chanath draws out the guards, leaving Seer to take out anyone who gives away their position, while Lady Bright starts burning the place down. Chanath lures out some of the guards, telling them to take their best shot as she activates her ray shield, bouncing their blaster bolts back at them and killing them. Seer guns down more men as Bright begins burning up the labs. Outside, Imara notices some transports taking off from their hangars, knowing that she can't get them both. Chanath tells Seer to get back to their ship and stop their escape as Imara loads a coaxium bullet into her sniper rifle, firing it at one of the transports and blowing it out of the sky. The other Black Sun transport breaks orbit, knowing their other ship was blown out of the sky. Their officer orders the pilots to go to hyperspace now, but it's too late as Seer blasts through their ship, telling Chanath that they caught them in time. Chanath tells her that they are almost done there and the only thing left is to take some pretty pictures. Black Sun soon notices the loss of their secret facility, and Lord Gaudi is told of the destroyed lab, seeing pictures on the shadow feeds from beings claiming to have been responsible, telling Black Sun that they are in an eclipse now. Gaudi knows none of their other syndicates want to claim responsibility for this, since they know they would have been eradicated, so instead, Gaudi plans on hitting all of the syndicates. Chaneth and the orphans continue hitting the other syndicates, stoking the fires to create an atmosphere of dread and distrust amongst the syndicates, who lash out at one another as Crimson Dawn begins spreading whispers amongst them about the Empire ending their deal with the Hutts, and they'll be choosing the strongest syndicate to replace them, or maybe even the only syndicate that is left to replace them. Soon Palpatine is told of the Syndicate Wars, becoming displeased and knowing Vader needs to deal with this personally. On the Night Buzzard, the Knights of Ren train as they get ready for their part in Kira's mission to defy the Sith. Ren knows that if they bring Kira what she is looking for, then they can take anything they want and carry. He reveals that Kira even gave him access code, maps, and more to the place that they are going to be breaking into, and everything they need, finding her to be quite impressive, but Ren's men know that she wouldn't lower herself to someone like him. Ren, however, knows that women do like to get low, especially the fancy ones. Stopping their training, he tells the team this is their biggest job yet, showing them a hologram of Fortress Vader on Mustafar, knowing that they will be legends if they can pull this off. The only question is, how will they do it? Ochi Mimo prepares in his own strange way, sharpening his Sith cultist knife as he mutters he has seen the light. The archivist says that as long as she knew him, he was a terrified man who killed because anyone who he murdered couldn't kill him back, and his road was paved with corpses, and some were paid for by Kira. Deathstick meanwhile meditates as Archivist knows that she was born of night and no one is more at home in the dark than her. She knows that many assassins would refuse the target Kira gave her, but Deathstick wasn't bothered by it at all. The Archivist meanwhile spends time in Crimson Dawn's libraries, having been employed as Kira's advisor on all matters related to the Force and the Sith. She knows that the woman was proficient in her knowledge of the Sith, but Kira gave her other tasks, like a way to increase her chances at winning, like trying to find Jedi who have managed to escape the Purge and can be used as bait for Palpatine and Vader, Jedi like Master Yoda, who the Archivist recognizes as her old friend. Kira meanwhile meets with Margot and Trinia, filled in on what is happening with the Hutts and how they are holding back and staying out of the civil wars. Kira knows that Jabba is playing the long game and he'll ride all of this out on Tatooine, watching his competitors eat themselves alive. She tells Trinia to give word to Chaneth and her team to go and lay low for a time being, since their part is over now. She knows the assassins are up next, wanting them sent to their respective targets, and also for Trinia to reach out to Leia Organa for a meeting, since the rebels will be part of this if they want to be or not. The Archivist knows that Kira planned as well as anyone could and achieved extraordinary things, and Kira thinks that this could actually work out, as the Archivist tells whoever activated the holocron years later that this is the story of the fall of Crimson Dawn, and it's a story of tragedy.